All right, welcome to Keeping It Real, the largest podcast made for real estate agents and by real estate agents. My name is DJ Paris. I am your guide and host through the show. Today on the show, we have our monthly series called the Monday Market Minute with Carrie McCormick from the Carrie McCormick Real Estate Group with At Properties here in Chicago. Carrie is a top 1% producer here with over 20 years of experience helping buyers, sellers, and investors. In fact, in the past 12 months, out of 44,000 real estate agents in the Chicagoland area, Carrie is currently ranked number 11. She is a true superstar and an expert in everything from first-time home buyers, veteran investors, and luxury properties. She also works with a lot of developers and is often chosen to represent their high-end developments, including the one I just moved into. Please visit Carrie at her website, which is carriemccormickre.com. But even more importantly, follow her on Instagram. She has one of the very best Instagram accounts that for realtors we've ever seen. So everyone grab your phone right now and search for Carrie McCormick, or just type in Carrie McCormick with 2 C's real estate, Carrie McCormick real estate on Instagram, and watch her posts. They're exceptional and they're a really good template and model for how I believe real estate agents should be talking about real estate on social media. Carrie, welcome to the show again.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it as always. This is one of my highlights of the month to do your show. So thank you for always having me.
Well, thanks for doing it. So what's going on in the Chicagoland market for real estate?
Well, we're in August, so it's been an interesting ride this year, but I wanted just to focus on first-time home buyers, because at the beginning of the year, we saw quite a bit of first-time home buyers come out and eager to buy a home, but the percentage of the first-time home buyer fell 31% in June, which is a huge number for it to fall. Yeah, it was the lowest level in more than 3 decades. And that number, just so you know, came from the National Association of Realtors. So one reason, or a few reasons actually, why it fell so much is because there's been so much cash injected into the market right now. We've seen more cash offers than ever before. There's been a lot of bidding wars. Obviously, home pricing has been soaring, so it's been making it difficult for these first-time home buyers to compete, in this market. As you know, there's low inventory, and it's kind of put them in a place where they can't win. So it's a little unfortunate, but some of these first-time home buyers are sitting on the sidelines waiting for the market to level out or become a little bit more normal before they re-enter the market. So I still think we're going to see them hopefully towards the end of the year come back after all the bidding wars are done.
So it's probably a good time to have those conversations with renters, telling them, look, it's still a really low interest rate environment. It's ultra competitive right now to win contracts, but maybe now is the time to start looking but setting the expectation that, cash is king and there's a lot of cash floating around right now. So bidding is more difficult to win, but maybe it's just a good idea to get them starting to look. Or do you recommend pausing until the fall for new home buyers?
Well, it depends on their situation. And, as brokers, that's where we guide our clients. And like I said, each client's situation is very different. And depending on what type of property they're looking for, and then also connecting them with a great mortgage lender, because there are some really unique programs that we can get them into to help them win some of these bids. But, if they do want to sit on the sidelines and rent for a little bit, we're here for them too. So there's always solutions to it. It's just finding what works best for the clients.
The other thing too, like I know this, I was renting until I purchased my most recent property. And even though I had owned property in the past, I'm sort of locked into this mindset. And I imagine a lot of renters are locked into the same mindset where it's, well, I can't move now. I still have 4 months left on my lease. Right. Whereas all I had to do was reach out to my landlord. And I had told him at the beginning of that was my 3rd year with him, that I'm going to be buying a place. So I don't know exactly when, but I was able to negotiate an exit 4 months early. Which again, psychologically, I'd kind of forgotten about was an option. I always like to honor my commitments. And instead I was able to say, hey, I need to leave. Can we work something out? And he was thrilled to work something out. There was no hard feelings. So maybe that's another conversation to have with renters who are like, oh, I can't do anything right now. I still have, my lease.
Right. That's such a great point. And some of the landlords, like you mentioned, are open to that depending on what time of the year that it is.
Yeah.
So I also wanted to talk about just looking ahead. We're in August, and I hate to even think that we're nearing the end of this year, but we're getting to the second half of this year. But we are still seeing that home value appreciation continues. So we're seeing it, and I feel like we're going to see it through the end of the summer at least, maybe through September, October. We're going to still see, prices tick up. But I think that when we look into 2022, it's hard to even think that that's coming around the corner, that we are going to see things settle back down to a pre-COVID pattern. I think we're going to see prices start to level back out to normal, and we're going to start seeing more inventory come into the market. So, if for those buyers who are still in the market and they want to find something, if they've got a little bit of time, I would just say hang in there. We'll get some more inventory into this market, and hopefully things will start settling down a little bit. However, if you are a seller, we're nearing, the end of this. So I would get your house on the market as soon as possible.
Yeah, and there are financing options with a lot of lenders that I think they can be called bridge loans, I believe, or
Yep.
or ways to buy without selling first, because we know that things sell very quickly, and maybe take a bit longer to win buying contracts these days. So there are financing options. So if you're trying to sort of dance that tightrope, there are options, and that's where you talk to your lender and say, is there a way we can make this work? And if you have good credit, there are thankfully lots of options around that.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of continued confidence and strength in our housing market right now. So again, if you're a seller, I'd get yourself into this market, especially, and I think we talked about this last year, is Chicago's looking pretty good right now from a weather standpoint. The trees obviously are in full bloom. The grass is really green. The flowers are in full bloom. Is get your pictures done now. So if you have any sellers that are on the fence about selling, whether they want to do it later this year or the spring, get your pictures done now so you can house those pictures and keep them for when your clients are ready to pull the trigger and get their house on the market.
That's a really great idea. And from a marketing perspective, awesome way to create stickiness with the client now, even if they don't list until December, January, or February, calling them and then saying, hey, I know you're going to want to list in the next 6 months. Now is the time. I'm going to send a photographer over. You don't have to deal with it. And my suggestion would be for agents that can afford to do this is pay for this yourself. Just make it so easy. Right. Don't give them a reason to say no, and just send someone over and then send them the photos a day or so after you receive them and say, look at how great your home looks. Can't wait to get this listed when you're ready. They're not going anywhere else after that. I can't imagine.
Yeah, no, it's a great idea. And they're just taking exterior pictures. So it's super easy for the sellers.
Boy, what a great suggestion. I know you've given that in past years, but I always forget. What a great idea. And then my marketing idea of the week, or the month rather, is very simple. It's back to school time. And now is the time to go through your database, categorize who in your contact list and your clients and your prospective clients have children. Hopefully, the ages of their children. If you don't, great reason to pick up the phone and call your client and say, hey, I'm updating my database. Are the kids back in school yet? Or, when are the kids going to school? Hey, what grade are they in again? You can make it more conversational as opposed to, specifically saying what's their age, what's their birthday, all of that. But assuming you can find out the general ages of the clients, you can create little gift bag or, back to school gift bag kind of things. And, it doesn't have to be expensive, but anything you can help a mom out with getting their children ready to go to school, even if it's $5 worth of school supplies, is one less maybe shopping trip that mom has to make, or that dad has to make. And it's so easy and simple. And boy, I know that getting school supplies is a pain in the butt for parents. So really easy things. You can just call your contacts with children and say, hey, I've got a little gift bag I want to drop off to help your kids with school. Why, it's simple, it's not expensive, and can really go a long way.
And every client likes a gift, no matter what it is. It's the thought that matters. So it's great.
Yeah, I love that. And also too, if you know that the mom or the dad is carpooling, if that's part of the process for getting their kids to school, give them a couple of Starbucks gift cards and say, hey, I know this might come in handy on those early morning drives, back from the school or to the school. A few Starbucks gift cards will certainly go a long way. But anyway, I think that's it for this month. And I want to remind everybody, please, well, first of all, before we get to the very, very end, if there are any listeners out there who are buyers, sellers, renters, investors, you're looking to work with one of the top real estate agents in the entire Chicagoland area, not because I'm saying it, but her numbers and all the accolades she's won over the last 20 plus years will demonstrate that. Carrie McCormick would love to work with you. So Carrie, what's the best way someone should reach out to you?
I always tell them to call me 312-961-4612, or you can email me at Carrie, which is CARRIE at atproperties.com. But before I let everyone go, I announced this last month.
That's
I
right.
am going to be working on a new construction, 18 single family homes in the Lakeview neighborhood. We are rounding out finally the floor plans, the pricing, the finished package, but hopefully we're going to be announcing it, late August, early September. So if anyone has clients looking for a single family home in the Lakeview area, would love to hear from you.
And there are not a lot of single family homes in the Lakeview area. So this is a big, big announcement. So they can reach out to you and you can put them on a list where you'd be giving them information once it comes available.
Absolutely.
Awesome. And the other best thing you can do is follow Carrie on Instagram. So we said this at the beginning, but please, please do it. I promise it is one of those Instagram accounts that you will just constantly be getting ideas from for your own business. And that follow her on Instagram, which is at Carrie McCormick, again, 2 C's, Carrie McCormick Real Estate, Carrie McCormick Real Estate on Instagram. Well, Carrie, thanks so much and appreciate your time as always. I want to thank everybody for listening and continuing to support our show. Please, before you sign off, just think of one other real estate professional that could benefit from hearing from top producers like Carrie and send them a link to our show. You can send them right over to our website, keepingitrealpod.com. Every episode can be streamed right from a browser, or if they're a podcast listener, download whatever, or just search for Keeping It Real in their podcast app and hit the subscribe button. We'd appreciate it. Well, Carrie, thank you so much. And we will see you next month.
Thank you.